Poso. This is the teaching of the medicine wheel. The medicine wheel is a teaching aid which teaches our people the basic teachings of the circle of life. The teachings come in fours. 4 is a sacred number to the Menominee people. Not the number 4, but the concept of fours. Such as the 4 directions. Ochikacha Inika, the north. Peshimoka Inika, the east. Shawano Inika, the south. Skirik Inika, the west. In these 4 directions, we also place 4 colors. Wapishkin, white. Oshawan, yellow. Mahkon, red. Apason, black. Also, we look to the 4 aspects of the human person: the spiritual, the emotional, the physical, and the mental. We also look to 4 medicines: the sweetgrass, the cedar, the tobacco, and sage. We also look to 4 elements: water, air, earth, and fire. And also 4 seasons: the winter, spring, summer, and fall. In certain teachings, they also look to certain clan animals they call totem. We look to the bear, the wolf, the buffalo, and the eagle. Also with these teachings are also called the 7 gifts. They say the 7 gifts that we receive from Machuatuk, the Creator, that help us to live our daily lives. They include, as I've been taught, love, knowledge, strength, wisdom, respect, humility, and truth. As we go through our life, we look at things that follow the 4 steps in the order of creation: mineral kingdom, the plant kingdom, the animal kingdom, and the human. In this part, we will talk about, in Menominee, what's known as Ochikacha Inika, the northern direction. We look to that north as understanding that which is called Tipanao, Menominee Mao, that which is love and goodness that exist. I was taught that from my uncle, that he says life starts in the north. The understanding of that coming together of the mother and the father and the creation of life, to where that one comes into the womb of the mother and is followed by the entering of the spirit. It said at that time that one is taught the first teachings of life given to that one by the mother through what's become known as the heartbeat. And we hold this time to be sacred for all these things that come into the human, the connection of the physical and the spiritual. In that direction, we look to the color Wapishkin, the meaning of animate white, the white that is alive through the purity of the coming of the spirit. We look to that Mishkiki, that medicine, as we call Sewe Puk, also known as sweetgrass. I was taught to use sweetgrass, and that calling is held in a sacred manner. And it said that when we call those spirits, we call them for a reason. And when they come, then we must explain why we are asking them to be here. Next we go to the understanding of what's called Peshimoka Inika, also called the East. Sometimes it's also referred to as Peshiwapa, that where the dawn comes. We look to that teaching of that time when that little one comes out into the world, is what is called birth. comes into this time seeking what is called kakena wapatam, that which is seeking knowledge, coming into this world to learn things that they need to walk this path of life. In this direction, we look at the color Oshawan, also known as yellow. As my uncle once told me, when you look at the color yellow, it makes you feel happy. And we look at them little ones when they were walking and playing, they were happy at that sight. Muskegee in this direction is called Kesa, also known as cedar. We look to that Keshikatik, that cedar tree, as understanding of that knowledge that comes from the east. We also look to that as understanding as our grandmother. As we go to the south, which is also called Shawanowinika, we look to the understanding of Muskowasan, that of attaining strength. I was told the understanding to attaining strength is to be strong enough to help somebody and to walk through life in a good manner, sharing that strength with those that need it. We look to the Muskegee, the medicine in that direction, that we call netnamal, also known as tobacco. That tobacco is used to talk to the Creator and to send our prayers up. So when we smoke that with the good intentions of helping those around us through what we call prayer. The color in that direction that was passed on to me, we call makon, also known as red. That word makon also is known, we call blood, the strength of our bodies. Next we look to Skunikinika, also known as the West. We look to the teaching from that direction, Nupakan, which also translates to wisdom, that as we walk through this life and we come through these 4 stages, we come to that time in our life of becoming grandparents, learning all these things that we learned in life as we walk this path, starting to share that not only with our children but with our grandchildren. We look to the color in that direction as a patient, also translated as black. We look to the Muskegee in that direction, the what I call Skunik Muskegee, the medicine from the West. Because it said a long time ago that when we got sage, we got it for the people from the West, from those that were our allies in that direction, called the Dakota. And so these are the first 4 directions that we look to in these teachings. Also, to continue on, we look to the sky above us, what I was become known as Kimasamasamanao, Spamia Kesiko, our grandfather in the sky. Up there we look to as the color Apathin, also known as blue. We look to the teaching of the sky, of that is Kotseha, also known as respect. In the sky, we have that understanding of where the thunderers are. It's said that the thunderers reside in the west, Skunikinika, and it's their coming in the springtime that signals the new beginning every year. They say if there's a new year, it starts when they come. Next we look down to Kokomasesana. The color that we look to that is that what's called Skapikan, also known as green. When we look to their grandfather in the sky, we understand the connection between the sky and the earth, our grandmother. And through our grandmother, it said that we learn what's called Sawanetikan, which is called humility. To learn to be humble and to walk in a humble manner. Also, we look to what's called our grandmother. We call Katsmakana, the great turtle. Through the story, it was a turtle that gave her shell after some dirt was put on it, some earth, and they say the turtle grew, and that's why this land is called the Great Turtle Island, Katsmakana Manash. And in this 7th teaching that we have, which is known as Onamwan, that which is truth. So we have these 4 directions. We have the upper and the lower, and we have that which is called inside of ourselves. And these are what's called the 7 gifts that we got from Machuatuk, the Creator. Also in these directions, there are placed these prominent Manatoak, these animals. Each one of these we call Manato Totem, these clan animals that give us certain teachings are placed in these directions. In that north we look to the one that is called Machawasa, the great white bear with the copper tail. And it said that this one was the ancestor of the Menominee people. It's the one that protects Maoni Mishkiki, all that medicine. And so some of our people, we honor that one when it goes into the earth to sleep, as with the medicine, and also when it returns in the springtime. We also look at this one that resides in the east, the one called Mahua Totem, the leader of that wolf clan, the one that teaches us about gathering and hunting, the symbol of the warrior. Also it said that Mahua or Mawawak, that wolf and wolves, also teach us the teachings of family unity and how they care for their family and their what's called a pack. And that even within that pack they have their own leaders. In the south we look to that one, Pishaki Totem, that leader of what's called the Buffalo clan. The buffalo used to roam in southern Wisconsin, and the Menominee would go and hunt them. But it's said by the time the white man got here, that clan had disappeared. And so that understanding of that Pishaki teaches us that strength, that caring of the earth. And they say that buffalo has no fear. So then we look to that one of the west, the one we call Kane Totem, that eagle clan, also known as Inamaki, the thunder. So them are the ones that bring that thunder from the west. They come in the springtime and they go back in the fall. It said sometimes under special occasion they will appear in the winter, and they say that's when we should offer Netnamal, because there's a reason why they are here. This Kane is known as the golden eagle or war eagle, and that one's brother, known as Panase, who was also known as Wapakane, that bald eagle as they call him, is held special and sacred to all people. A lot of times you will see native people, when they see an eagle, they place tobacco down, offer them words and them thoughts. They say that it's a special meaning when you see that Kane or that Panase. And we look to them 4 directions to start us off in these teachings of life. And I always remind people when I talk about this, that this concept is not, as they say, written in stone. It is ever changing, evolving. The Indian people were like that. And my people, the Menominee people, have always said to take things and to use them, and also to share, to help people by passing these things on. Nahal, Wawanan.